Well, if you've been following up until now, this is MILF. I can't say that without context, so I need to provide that. This is movies I'd love to fix, and I'm joined by my two good friends. There's no usernames here, no real agendas or whatnot, no secret identities, because this is the MCU, man. Like, everybody knows who everybody is. So I am your host, and I am joined by two guests, guest number one and guest number two. And we will be deep diving into what is by far the most broken movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or as I would like to call it, the meh cinematic universe, because that's how it's been going until now. We are diving into Thor Love and Thunder. So, you should know by now, the way things roll is that we list problems, and once that's done, we move on to how we would integrate our solutions into the thing. So, problems. What is this movie's? What jumps out to mind when you think, what is the first problem you think of when you think Thor, Love, and Thunder?
Tone.
Yeah. The movie is too damn jokey, even when it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like, just anytime there's a serious moment, it is immediately followed up by a joke. Or it is preceded by a joke. Just, dude.
Yeah.
For example, when Jane tells Thor that she has cancer, like, the music goes down, like, her tone changes, and she tells him, like, she's had it for a while, she's dying. And then when he responds, like, wait, what? She's like, ha, I'm just kidding. Well, let's go fight something, like, whatever, in a desperate attempt to change the subject. Like, dude, this isn't the place for that, man.
So,
dude.
it's not the place for a cancer review. It really isn't. You're right, yeah.
Also, there was the jokes mostly came from whenever Jane had to, like, whenever we needed to remind the audience that Jane has cancer, it would immediately be followed by something funny. Like, when she was in the mirror and she put the hammer down for a minute and she went back to a human form, she looked awful. And then she immediately picked it back up to, like, restore herself back, and she's like, back to a form. Immediately after that, it's followed by Valkyrie cracking this joke about, like, I'm bringing this. She's like, what's that, a grenade? No, it's a Bluetooth speaker. That thing of, like, oh, you think it's some kind of weapon because they're trying to get a battle. Nope, it's a Bluetooth speaker. And then they immediately both start bobbing their heads to a song that they're playing. Keep in mind, that Bluetooth speaker never comes back into the story. Never again. It's there just for this little gag. Just...
You know what I think it is? I think, and I'm not sure if this is Taika's doing or the writers or whatever it is, but it seems to me like that movie is afraid to let us, the audience, sit with such harrowing, serious implications for a minute even. They're afraid to let us soak in it. They don't want an entire scene to be gloomy and morose and depressing. And that really does confuse me, because how can you have the balance of a perfect superhero movie? I'll use Spider-Man 2 as an example. If you're afraid to let the audience sit with the most depressing aspects of that character and what he deals with in his life. A movie should never be afraid to let the audience soak that in, to fully feel and understand the weight. That's your first problem. That derails things.
Yeah, the movie's tone, regardless of what happens in the movie, if the tone is all over the place, the movie is all over the place. Just for an example, outside of the MCU and outside of superhero things, there's this movie, Murder on the Orient Express, and this scene, the way this scene is laid out, it's basically a I'm here to kick butt and take names scene. If you look at the dialogue and you look at the dude's face, that's the message he's trying to get across. When he's like, when you kill somebody and you think no one will know, two people will know. You're God and Hercule Poirot. Like, that's a pretty badass looking line. That's some action hero shit. But the music is so sad. Like, when he said it, it's like, when you kill someone, two people will know. And there's like piano music playing like dun 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 in the background. Like, wait, what are you doing? The dialogue does not fit this scene. This music doesn't fit the dialogue. Nothing is going as it should. And with this movie, sure, there were awesome moments where the music and what was happening, what was being said, it fit, and that was in like the action, like that opening scene where Thor does the splits and he's like holding these two things together. That, as absurd as it may seem, is a plausible thing because Thor is fucking strong. You don't need to question that because it's cool. And A, it tells us something about the character. It's something we already know,
Yeah.
but it still serves the story in some way. Also, there's this thing about the hero is taken down when he's at his most confident or when he's at his best. In Spider-Man 3, like Peter Parker is arguably living his best life. He's with Mary Jane. The people of New York City love him now. In comes the Sandman. In comes the new truth about Uncle Ben's death. In comes Harry Osborn. In comes Venom. That's when, when you're at your best, you will be dragged down to your fucking worst. So in this movie, the beginning showing Thor effortlessly taking people down shows like he is at his strongest and he is cleaning house and now he is about to be dealt his hardest hand. The woman he loves is dying. And the movie does not follow through with that setup of him going down. He stays at that level of like, I don't know, fucking emotion. We never see him really like dealing with like, oh shit, she's dying until the third act. It's too late then. Like, yeah. So that's out of the way. The movie's tone is all over the place. Another thing, it's too jokey. And a bigger issue, Gore doesn't butcher any gods outside of the dude at the beginning.
I have a point that I bring across to the audience or the listeners of the show. Yeah. And I think this was discussed earlier in the group chat between me and Six, where Taika has had these problems within his films. And it's not that it's not like all the problems that we are seeing manifested in Thor Love and Thunder is because we have this image of Ragnarok being such a better movie compared to the previous two Thor movies. But it had its own problems with the themes that we are facing in Love and Thunder, such as the emotional maturity, the jokey material, not taking anything seriously. And what happened was those problems were later covered by Thor's arc in Infinity War. In fact, the person who's responsible for writing Thor in that movie should be in charge of bringing that character to life, because they showed, in a sense, Thor's level of loss and him redeeming himself throughout that movie. Exactly. That's very true.
Yeah.
So while I think it's nice to have Jane Foster as a callback in this movie, I don't think she is necessary. I think she could have waited for a later time. I can agree with that.
Okay.
He goes from, he loses his mother, he loses his father, he loses his brother, he loses homeworld, he loses his best friend, and now he loses the only woman he's ever truly loved. Yeah. If you're a broken person, that would be, imagine if that happened to you. You'd be destroyed. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And here's Taika. Oh, cancer, yay. Anyways, let's do some shit. Like, where's the maturity that you are giving to the significance of these events? Cancer is a real thing. It has fucked up people's lives. One of my close relatives, I think that should have been a theme with Jane Foster, not, I get magic hammer. It's so cool. Oh my god. Like, what the fuck? And it's the fact that they decided to change the reason why she gets the hammer. Because in the comics, it speaks to her and her this film, instead of drawing upon that and accentuating it, they simply made it as if Thor had sent Mjolnir like a tool to give Jane the power she needed to protect her like she's a whole individual. And instead now, you're removing Jane's agency and her qualities that make her inherently worthy of Mjolnir in the comics and in any other media. And what they've essentially done is, she's not picking up the hammer because she's worthy. She's picking up this hammer because Thor needed her to, because he told the hammer to multiple years ago. And that, to me, is the most egregious change in the film.
Wait, actually, I can rewrite this story.
There we go.
Rewrite it into a much better story.
There we go, man. See, I told you we could do it. Now,
But it's not what I want. It's like, if it were up to me, I'd burn the whole thing, and I know what I'd write.
yeah,
But
but this is a different thing,
in
man.
a sense, I think he should, in the beginning, in like the first half.
Wait, hold up.
Thor.
We're not there yet. We're getting there. We ain't there
movie
yet.
with Thor.
Yeah.
They're exploring, they have new, they go, there's a god on it. He's been slain. He's got fucked up by this thing.
Dude.
Thor comes.
Dude.
He attempts to kill Thor.
Dude.
What?
Dude. That comes later. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, man. We haven't actually started that part yet. We're still listening to problems. But if you want to jump ahead, man. Yeah. There's plenty of shit. This comes in sections. Like, we're going to list everything that's wrong. And when we're done there, then it's like, all right, here's how it's fixed,
Okay, I thought we were dressing and then fixing and then dressing and fixing as we go along.
I mean, I tried that. Dude, I actually tried that. I had like, dude, I'm not kidding, dude. I had like over 100 minutes of like just shit. If I was fixing shit problem by problem instead of just listing it all at once, that shit takes long.
Because you think of new things all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, we've listed Oh yeah.
Just the reason of her worthiness is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And it only makes other things thereafter that much more accentuatedly bad. Like it accentuates the badness of those things.
Yep.
Just by removing why she gets the hammer.
Alright. And gore. That's one of the movie's problems. It's also one of the movie's saving graces, but it's also one of the movie's problems. There is not enough gore and not enough god butchering, and he doesn't get enough screen time to properly like flesh him out as a villain. Like, if you missed that opening, you would think Gore was killing gods just cause. Like, he's just a guy going around killing gods just cause, And thing is, another problem is that when he finally gets to Thor with New Asgard and he's got him dead to rights, he starts talking. He doesn't run through him with the sword. And then goes like, at first like Thor is like, oh, that's the necrosword. And he's like, so this is going to hurt. And he smiles. And like, as he's rearing up, boom, Mjolnir. Like, what the fuck are you talking to him for? Stab him. Move along. Just, why are you like, this is going to hurt? Why are you playing with your food? You're like a cat playing with his food. Like, when has that been his MO?
Yeah, he's always been a get shit done type of character.
Yeah. And,
the fact that he butchered hundreds of gods alone is indicative of that fact. He just kills and dims. That's a MO.
Yep. And yet when it comes to Thor, he stops and, he doesn't monologue, but he like takes a moment to be like, this is gonna hurt, dude. And then he leans back, just like, nah.
We know it's gonna hurt, cool.
Jesus, bro. It's a sword to the throat. Of course it's going to hurt. What the fuck?
You're feeding spoons. Like, get to it.
Yeah. Okay.
And does anyone else find it so disrespectful that they pulled one of the most visually striking panels of the Thor God of Thunder run that introduced Gore.
Yeah.
And simply made out to be a passing scene.
Yep.
I'm of course referring to Valor God the Behemoth.
We only saw the aftermath. That right there. Another problem. We only ever see the aftermath of the thing, the killings. We never see the actual killings. Dude.
And of course, what that also comes down to is the fact that they prioritized, I guess, budgetary wise.
Yeah.
They prioritized several set pieces, action set pieces, in different locations. Set pieces of which weren't even that good to begin with. And they sacrificed that instead of showing us these big, sprawled, beautiful battles that could have saved the movie.
Yeah. Plus, thing is, showing us the aftermath, I think it's a thing like, whoa, look at all this destruction and chaos. Thing is, that doesn't always work, especially for a superpowered bad guy. Imagine if the first time we saw Thor was when the Guardians crashed into him. We don't see that opening with Thanos. And all we find out about Thanos is through Thor's explanation of like, he decimated Xandar. He killed everyone on my ship. And like, he blew me up. And I've been floating in space ever since then. That would have sucked. The first time we see Thanos, he would have been fucking arriving on Vormir or whatever. No. It was when he would be torturing Dude, the Collector. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's not an intro. It wouldn't work. So, yeah. Definitely need more scenes with Gore. And less jokes. Yeah, let's...
And I think also, do not introduce useless characters who serve no purpose in the grand narrative thereafter. For example, I remember distinctly reading so many headlines during the premiere of Loki when we had seen the reintroduction of Lady Sif. Headlines after the episode were speaking to Lady Sif's big involvement in the next Thor movie. How Jamie Alexander making her grand return after 7 years. And yet we only get one scene with Lady Sif. And in that very next scene that we see her in, she's continually disrespected because this is a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and as Guardian of all people. Her arm has been cut off by the Necrosword. And no one thinks to give her a new arm in the modern day Marvel Universe. She's just wasted. She's a character used as a fleeting joke that isn't even as funny. The joke supposedly stating that if you don't die in battle, you don't make it into Valhalla. But she was in battle. She would have died because of battle wounds, battle injuries. So she would make it in Valhalla. So that joke in itself inherently makes no sense.
Yeah. There's a way we can fix that. I got a way. Yeah.
She made it to Valhalla.
We can definitely fix that. I got a solution for that. So, no pointless characters. So, thing is, another problem, Zeus. That whole thing. The moment he opens his mouth, just, oof. Zeus is
Would you
just...
start with the accents or just the character as a whole?
Well, his look isn't the problem. That's actually historically accurate. I'm good with that. His look ain't the problem. The problem is his it's a me, a Mario. That's his vibe, man. That's his whole ass vibe. Just no. No to that. You're the king of all gods, dude. Just live up to that fucking title. Just, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Also, that's it. And no gore at Omnipotent City, a city full of gods, and no god killer. That's another problem.
Exactly, because you would think that scene being teed up is a leading a lamb to the slaughter kind of scene where it's all these gods gathered. Thor is here. Aren't we likely to see Gore bust in a few minutes? No, he doesn't bust in. He just nowhere.
Yeah. And okay, past that scene,
I have a hot take.
yeah.
So Zeus gets stabbed in the chest in this scene, right? Shouldn't that have been Gore doing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he would be butchered.
Yeah,
Imagine Marvel being this much of a fuck.
dude.
You take out a guy using his own weapon instead of using a character who actually can take out that character. It's pointless. Just pointless troll.
Yep. That's a definite problem. The death of Zeus, which isn't even a death, because
Yeah.
comes back later.
It's more like incapacitation.
Yeah. And another issue, this is at the end of the movie, Hercules. Just
I was wondering about that. I was about to ask.
oof. Fucking oof, man.
Well, the thing is, with Hercules, there's not much to fix about him.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't really gotten any dialogue, so you can't scrutinize his characterization yet.
Yep.
But what we can scrutinize is the casting and the look.
Yeah. I have a fix. A fix for that, There's I've put a lot of thought into this, like just thinking about it for a while. Okay, so moving on. Moving on from Omnipotent City. The axe being what Gore needs to get to. Okay, the very existence of eternity being this end all be all. If you make it to eternity, you get a wish. You can wish for anything. Like, why would a god butcher want that? I get it. You wipe out all the gods in one go. But, like, if you've known about eternity all this time, why wasn't that your go-to thing? Why have you been killing gods one by one by one?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, how eternity works and the very existence of eternity and him needing Stormbreaker, yeah, that's a problem. And there's a simple solution for that. A very simple solution that would be
Very simple.
generated if Gore was in Omnipotent City. Like, and we'll come to that. We'll come to that. And so, yeah, I think that's about... Nope, that's not it. Them fucking goats. Them screaming goats. That's... Ugh. What the fuck is that? Do we really need that?
No, I don't. Listen, they're mindless animals. I won't really critique. But what I will critique are the Asgardian children.
Yes, that whole subplot. The kids have been kidnapped. Like,
Yeah.
the God Killer has kidnapped Asgardian children. Like, it goes against his character because all this started was because of the death of his daughter, and now he's kidnapping children. Like, no, why would he do this? He's beefs with the gods, not with ordinary children. Like, why would he do this? Sure, he's a killer going around killing gods, but he's only killing gods. Like, he only kills people, like regular people, when they actively get in his way.
Yep.
Okay, so the Asgardian children, that's a problem. Another problem, those Asgardian performers. Yeah. Dear, what's this? Your Lordship, do you think it would be, like, perfect if we would, like, now that during this time of crisis, the people could use a performance to really rally the people? Like, we absolutely do not need that. Go away.
I didn't even
Dude.
think, for starters, I did not even know that those performers were Guardian.
Yep.
I just thought that they were just regular contracted Earth actors. But they're Asgardian for some reason. And their first instinct in times of turmoil make a play about it,
Yeah.
I load.
And another thing, the inactivity of the Asgardian people once the children have been taken. They are just like, oh no, our children have been taken. What do we do? What do we do? Like, what's going to happen? What do we do? Just, what do you mean, what do you do? There's guardians. Think of something. Don't run around like headless chickens, like your lord, like the king with the thing. What are we gonna do? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, how are we gonna get our kids back? Oh my god! Like, you're as guardians, not human citizens. Man, like, strap up.
Each one of you are hundreds of years old. Do you have no wisdom on how to deal with a kidnapping situation?
Yeah, that's another problem.
Correct.
Okay, all that's gone. There's not a lot of problems from that jump, and just that's about it. That's the problems, because we're really stretching on this bad. Like, so now that those problems are out of the way, unless you got something, we leaving something out?
I think we're good for now.
Man in the back, you got something? Gone quiet for a bit there. But... Okay, right off the bat, the first thing we gotta fix. More Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't start the movie like, oh, the Guardians are in battle, and like, hey, Thor, we need your help to win this battle. Like, just have like Thor and the Guardians like coexisting on the Milano, whatever, and they get a distress call. They rock up, and you know, if you want to have the Thor kicks ass and, you know, with relative ease scene, do that, but also have the Guardians kicking ass alongside him. Don't have them just standing in the back watching it all play out like, ugh, this again. Like, no, dude, like, just have them fighting alongside him, you know? Show, like, them doing shit alongside whatever. If you want to have funny character beats, have them, dude. Like, have character moments of, like, you know, with Rocket and Groot and thing, you know, just like that scene in the first Guardians movie where Groot is, like, picking people up and tossing them and stomping people with reeds, and Rocket's on his back firing or whatever. Like, have Drax charging through motherfuckers, you know, like, and Thor is just taking on the big guns, you know. Show the Guardians being heroes along with Thor. And, you know, the situation they've responded to, like, have the dude who was the head of that planet being like, you know, thank you, Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, like, all this started, like, after, like, our god was killed, these raiders, they came out of nowhere and tried to take over. Like, and it's like, wait, your god was killed? And it's like, yeah, like, some dude came out of nowhere, and, you know, he's been killing them. There's word that he's been killing gods all over the universe. And now they're on the trail. They're on looking for this mysterious man. Have it be like John Doe in Seven. We don't yet know that, they don't yet know that it's gorrthegodbutcher. They just know that, a god has been killed, and apparently others have been killed. And then they start looking into it. It's kind of like a detective story. Like, they're putting pieces together. They go from planet to planet. And then it's like, you know, if you want to have the Guardians peace out, give them a better reason to peace out than, oh, well, I need to go get Sif. You guys need to answer this distress calls. Peace. No, we need a better reason than that. Have them split up. Like, you know, just like have them split up and say, well, I gotta have Rocket or whatever read a screen saying, I got a lead that he's on this planet. And then, like, Thor sees the distress call from Sif, and it's like, okay, I need to go check this out. Like, there's apparently a battle ongoing. Not the aftermath of a battle. There's apparently an ongoing battle. And then, like, well, this other people, like, need our help. Let's split up into teams like in Infinity War. Okay, half the Guardians go with Thor, the other half go to, like, save the rest of the distresses and shit. That way, the Guardians aren't totally out of the movie. They're there, but they're not, like, taking up much space. So, you know, Thor and his team, they go to the planet where the battle is still ongoing. We see Gorr actually taking it to, like, Balder the Brave. You know, just we actually see him landing the killing blow. And then as, like, Thor and them arrive, he's gone. They arrive just in time to see, like, shit. He just killed, like, thing, like, and then he discovers Sif laying there in the ground, bleeding out, with both arms. She just has both arms. She's just badly wounded. She's laying there, and he's like, Sif, what happened? Like, who did this? What's going on? It's like, Gore the God Butcher. Like he said his name is Gore the God Butcher. He's on a mission to kill all gods. Like he's coming for everyone. And just yeah. That's the thing. She tells the villain, hypes him up that he has a weapon that can kill gods. Like look at the destruction he's wrought, and we just see bodies upon bodies just strewn all over the field. Like shit, one guy did this, and not only that, but he took down Balder. Shit, like right away we have like set up and set up. This guy's some kind of badass. So that's
Yes.
my first half. That's my first half of the first half. So yeah, that's before we met Jane. What you got? Because I know you said the Earthbound stories don't really gel well. Like, what you got for that? Yeah.
For starters, I would focus quite a bit on the characterization of the Asgardians because we've never been exposed to their mental, um, just their mental state, given the fact that they've lost an entire civilization and I guess a home world. It's not a planet, it's more of a home world around. They lost that. It's not just Thor who lost that. They also lost that. And we've never really focused on that. And this movie could have been a perfect instant to deal with that. Just deal with the fact that they're now Earth citizens, but not, they've lived on Earth for over 5 years, so I would assume that they're not citizens, but I would look at how they are acclimating to life on Earth and how things are different on Earth and how Earth customs are still something so strange to them and how the Asgardian kids are potentially I guess trying to be like Earth kids but realizing that they're not Earth kids and embracing that. I would look at them as a community. How is this community interacting with the world? Because all we see, like the way they act, I never get these Asgardian people. Just feel like random Earthling to me. They feel like random Earthling with no characterization that speaks to their Asgardian heritage.
Yeah. Like it would be more advantageous for them and the movie if we saw them commingling with like the people of Earth, like not just like installing an infinity cones or showing like Asgardian tourist ships or like stuff like that. Like show like okay, they have integrated, but only on like this kind of touristy level. Like New Asgard is a tourist trap. Like that's fine because they went from a fishing village to basically a brand new like Disney World, and that works because before that they had nothing. They were just a fishing village, and this like tourists and whatnot brings in money, and it brings in that realistically that's what would happen. That somewhat works.
And I would want them to hate it regardless.
Yes.
As much as that's their life, they hate it. But it's the only way to bring in the big bucks because fishing is not cutting it.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
It's just like the closest thing I can compare it to is Night at the Museum when like okay, people can come into the museum at night now and the Tutankhamun like figurine is like animated and he's detailing the story of like, this tablet has been in my family for generations, so on and so on. It brings all the like museums exhibits to life and so on. And they react to him like he's just a guy in a costume. Like it's like yeah, dude. What does it really do? Like shit. Like you can tell like he's just like yeah, like whatever. You know what? It's just it's nothing. Fuck it. Like just screw it, dude. Have that moment like that Asgardian tourist guide who was like showing here are the remains of Thor's hammer. Don't have him be like and here are the just have him be like no, this soul crushing is like And here are the remains of Thor's hammer, a once mighty weapon.
Exactly.
Like, just, yeah, you know,
Play it straight and serious, because the just the details of the details surrounding how that hammer got destroyed were not like they weren't. It wasn't a happy accident, you know. It wasn't, you know, Thor was playing with Loki and Loki accidentally cracked it. No, it was the first time they had both seen their apparent estranged older sister, and their father had just died. And knowing that she was evil as told by their father, his first instinct was to attack, and his hammer was destroyed. It was a very serious sequence of events that led to it. And they play it off as and here's the hammer. Don't try to pick it up. You can't. Ha 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 ha. You know?
yeah.
No. I don't like that.
Yeah. Do we keep the actors replaying the events of Thor Ragnarok in their jokey, recap?
You can keep all of them except for Melissa McCartney's only role there is to be a fat joke. And I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Much as she's comfortable with it being an actor and whatnot, but it doesn't stick for me. It doesn't land.
Yeah. Okay, so also that second scene with those actors is gone. Or after that second scene is gone. They're literally there just for that recap, and then we never see them again. Poof. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So, okay, life in New Asgard is all right. There's this tour group, and in that tour group, there's this hooded figure, and it's Jane. She walks up to the glass, and like she puts a hand on the thing, and like the guy's like, "Miss, like stay with the group, whatever." The camera like cuts away for a second, and like we see like her hand like stay on the glass for a while, and the pieces like start to like they start to like shuffle and shuffle a little bit, Like she's not just putting a hand on the glass, she's actively like trying to summon it. And later on she explains like, I felt something draw me here. Like in the comics, they said like the hammer talked to her. Like she said like, don't actually say the hammer talks. It's an inanimate object. It does not talk. Just have it be like she got this weird feeling that she needed to be in Asgard. Regardless how sick she was or whatever, she needed to go to New Asgard and be near that hammer. And when she put her hand on that glass, the pieces start to move, and like we hear like a storm rumbling in the background. Now, because the CGI for this scene wasn't finished, we don't see it happen, but the pieces moving, the sky getting darker, thunder rumbling, we don't need to see it. We know what's gonna happen. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, that works.
She's about to. Oh.
Yeah. And then we cut back to Thor and like his group of the Guardians investigating the different planets that Gorr has visited and hearing the crazy survivor stories. Like this dude came out of nowhere. He had these shadow creatures and he was killing people. He killed our god, like our greatest warrior. He killed like so-and-so, like just he left them strung up as a warning. And we actually see that. We don't just see a clip on a screen. We actually see them strung up there like, oh damn. Not only did he kill them, but he did it in such a way as to be a warning to anyone who saw this shit. Like, I am Gorr and I am coming for you. Basically, yeah. There was this idea. Like, okay, a guy came up with it on YouTube. He came up with an idea on how to get Gorr to Omnipotent City. What if Gorr didn't kill the dude who, like, let his daughter die? What if that guy somehow, he got fucked up, but he managed to get away. He just barely managed to get away and, like, sneak away to Omnipotent City. And Gorr is actually killing his way through gods one by one, and before he's killing them, he's interrogating them, like, where is he? Like, where did he go? And, like, it's and midway through the movie, one of them finally gives up, and he's like, it's Omnipotent City. And he's like, how do I get there? And that's how he gets to Omnipotent City. He's not killing gods just cause. He's killing people to get information to chase down the one that got away. The one who's responsible for setting all this in motion. That works,
Yeah, using it as a means to an end.
Yes.
not just a senseless activity.
Yeah. So then, okay, Thor contacts the other team of Guardians, like, hey, we've been following up leads, and it turns out like your man's been killing gods all over the place. And Thor's like, yeah, I know. He's trying to find Omnipotent City. It's like what? Omnipotent City, whatever. And it's like only gods can enter. It's like, I'm like, thank you for all your help, but like this is as far as you guys go, because like it's Omnipotent City, it's only a god thing. That way it makes sense. It's like I really could use your help or whatever, but like this is big. This is bigger than you guys. This is a god butchering thing. It's not saying these guys are small time, it's just this is big, like then you have the farewell. As opposed to at the beginning of the movie, you know. Have the Guardians go off on their own adventure or whatever, like, or just have them say like, hey, we've run into some trouble, we need help. And then like Thor is like, okay, you guys go, I'll keep like looking, like I'll keep searching to find this guy. And he goes back to Earth to like get, Valkyrie and them and some of his Guardians so they can go off to Omnipotent City and shit. Like, the Asgardians aren't gods, but like Thor would like, yeah, they're with me. I'll vouch for them and shit. And that's when he comes across New Asgard. That's when he comes across Jane. And we have Gorr show up on Earth. Take it from there, man. Where do we go from there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How did you feel about the character in conjunction with Jane?
The what?
How do you feel about the characterization of Valkyrie in conjunction with Jane?
Valkyrie in conjunction with Jane. Valkyrie in the original movie is a warrior who has been reduced to a politician, and she fucking hates it. She is bored. Like, Valkyrie is bored. This is not... It's basically like her entire, vibe throughout the movie is like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, I'm not this person. I do not sit in meetings and like, just listen to people talk. That's not what I do. Like, I need to be out there in the fight, It's like when Blonsky in Incredible Hulk was like, when Ross told him like, you should be a colonel by now. What gives? Tells him like, no, I'm a fighter and I'm going to stay one as long as I can. So when Thor comes back to like Earth and he's like, there's a god butcher about, he's killing gods, I need your help, I know you busy out here. And she like have her like jump at the opportunity to like, yes, I'll come with you, because this guy's a threat. Not only is he a threat to gods everywhere, but it'll at least give me a chance to get away from all this crap,
100%.
Okay, and
there's one thing that I think we forgot that truly speaks to the forgetfulness of it all. But Korg is a character in the movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
I had honestly forgotten about that until a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I was avoiding that. I didn't really forget about him so much. He was comic relief, dude. That character was comic relief. He doesn't really... he just becomes comic relief. And then when he's reduced to nothing but a face, it's a lot worse because he's like permanently on Valkyrie's back now. He's like always in the fight,
Just a constant annoying voice. That is true.
Yeah. Because like, I'm gonna be straight with you, man. Like, did we really need Korg to come in on this thing? Just that's like, as irresponsible as it might be, there's really no one else for the job. So like, say, okay, Korg, Meek, you guys are in charge while I'm gone. There's you get Korg for bits. So yeah.
Characters, individual characters within the Guardians can literally fulfill the role that Korg played in this movie.
Yeah. Thing is, we can't have
say
the
Drax,
Guardians. Yeah.
Or Nebula.
Yeah, as cool as it would be to have Guardians throughout the whole movie, we need them to splinter off from Thor so they can go into the events of Guardians Volume 3. That's the only downside. Yeah. They would have to all exit the movie in some way, as opposed to be there for the duration. Yeah. So, The flashback sequence showing like Thor and Jane's relationship from the beginning to its deterioration. We keep that?
It depends what. I think it depends on what. Because in the movie, it was explaining a horrible retcon of Thor telling the hammer to protect Jane, inevitably removing her worthiness factor as an individual. So if you were to keep it, have to center it around something else.
We do need that scene to reestablish Thor's love for Jane. That's aside from that hammer bit, that's what that scene, the purpose that scene serves up until he says, look after her, Mjolnir. Up until he says that, that's what the scene is doing. It's reestablishing, oh, these two love each other, and here's why. And these two stop loving each other, and here's why. So just, yeah.
Does it land though?
It breaks the flow of the film. It messes with the flow of the movie, yeah.
It's a very kooky montage.
Yeah.
Like they're riding a two-person bike at some point.
Yep.
What couple does that? It's not even a romantic activity.
Yeah. Okay. So we nix that montage. Okay.
Unless you include better elements.
Yeah.
Like a dinner, a romantic vacation, gazing into each other's eyes. Something serious.
More romantic, less comedy.
Perhaps at some point.
Yeah.
Perhaps at some point he tried to propose. He was going to propose. So just something that really shows us Thor's love, undying love for Jane Foster. Because it doesn't make sense that.
Yeah, but him being Thor kept getting in the way.
1507 years old. But like this one human he met in the very insignificant portion of his life is the love of his life. There needs to be more.
Yeah. Let's circle back on that. We're kind of lingering on that shit, so yeah, we'll come back to it. It's definitely a thing. So Gorr comes, and does he still take the kids? Do we still want the kids showing up later in the movie?
Thing is, you would need something that would require Thor to go to Gorr.
Yeah. Aside from the whole,
he would have to take someone.
Yeah. Aside from the thing about like him, Valkyrie. Yeah, that could work. Like he takes her after, on the events of, yeah, during the fight with Zeus and his guards in Omnipotent City. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
That could work. Like he takes Valkyrie. Yeah, goes to like that shadow realm, and he's like, no, like before he disappears, he's like, if you want me, like you'll find me in the shadow realm, and it's like, yeah, bring the thunderbolt, like yeah. As
opposed to them having to guess where he will be next.
Yeah.
Or rely on, shardy Asgardian, telepathic communication.
Yeah. So yeah, like just have him snatch Valkyrie, but before he vanishes into the shadows, like it's like if you want me, like you'll find me in the shadow realm, like bring me like the thunderbolt. So like just like Zeus dies, so Zeus dies, but he's not killed by Thor. He's killed by Gorr. In the chaos though, the thunderbolt like it falls, and it's like no, because realistically, Stormbreaker being the key to eternity doesn't make sense, but the weapon held by the king of all gods being the key to eternity makes more sense. So it's like, like you want her back, like we'll have a trade. You bring me the thunderbolt and I'll give you your friend. Poof. And like Thor goes to retrieve it, and him and Jane like fight their way through like Zeus's guards, which is not as easy as it was in the fucking movie. Like these are the guards guarding the king of all gods, dude. They should not be cannon fodder villains. Just,
Yeah. Like, what
also,
would you do for do you want it to be like squared off in terms of the final battle has no key players? Because those kids do fight in the final battle. Would you remove that?
they fight in the final battle, but they fight Gore's shadow creatures while Thor fights Gore. Just remove the fight with the shadow creatures. Yeah.
Because the kids, of course, would be removed naturally in this new draft.
Yeah.
So do you have the final battle only being Thor and Gore? No Jane, no kids.
No. Jane needs to be there. Jane needs to be there because like the cancer subplot is still going, and the whole thing of like her, like every time she drops the hammer, she reverts to human form, and her body is getting worse and worse. Like keep that. That is a serious moment. Like in the moment when Jane tells Thor that she's dying, have that be the dourest moment in the film when the heroes are at their lowest, and it's like in Thor Ragnarok, there was one beautiful scene when there were no jokes, everything was serious, and that's when Odin like went all golden and he just disappeared into the ether. There were no jokes preceding that. He was just talking like, like this is a beautiful place, like Asgard isn't a place, it's a people, just everything he said in that moment was serious, it was somber, it was not jokey, and he was like, Hela is coming, like she's like, when I die, she's gonna come, because like my being alive is the only thing keeping her away, she's the goddess of death, like you have to stop her, like only you guys can stop her. And once he disappeared, it was very sad. And the moment that followed was not a joke. The moment that followed was an action sequence that established Hela as like, hey, I'm dangerous, more dangerous than you. So have Jane tell Thor about her cancer as like they're on the way to the Shadow Realm. Like just the two of us, we are on our way to fight, get our friend back. And with Jane, it's like, I need to tell you this now. I don't know if I'll get a chance to later. Like she tells us like, I have cancer. Like every time I drop this hammer, it's getting worse and worse. Like I'm dying. Like Thor, I'm dying. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, because the heroes are at their lowest point at this point. Like gods have been getting killed all movie, and they've been essentially failing to stop the guy who's doing it. They've been failing at protecting the citizens. Yeah, it's just like they're at their lowest, and this is the final thing that's like, damn, like one more thing to the pile. So yeah, they get to the Shadow Realm. We keep that black and white sequence. So yeah, only, when he's got them all held up and he's like looking through their past, like torturing them, have like the scene of like Gore going through Valkyrie's mind, and it's like, oh, you were Valkyrie, and like, all your sisters are dead. And then goes to Jane like, and you? It's like, well, you already have one foot in the grave, don't you? And like, what goes to Thor, the thing isn't like, summon the axe. Like, summon the axe. It's like, where's my thunderbolts? Like, where is it? Just like, basically, that scene in Batman. He's like, where are the other drugs going? Like, just, like the line is like, swear to me. Just, like, have that scene, but when he's interrogating one of the gods trying to find out where Omnipotent City is. But in this one, he's being like menacing and twisted, and he's actively torturing Jane and Valkyrie to tell Thor to like where is my thunderbolt? Where is it? Give it to me, or else like just like they'll suffer a fate worse than just dying, or some shit like that. Yeah, it's like give me the thunderbolt to watch them die, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the ultimate choice.
Yeah. Plus with like, oh, in this like thing, we don't see Gore's reasonings until this moment. It's like, what, like, why this? Why are you doing this? Why have you gone on this crusade? And that's where he lays it out, because it's like, how did all this start? This started on my planet with like my daughter dying because a god was too lazy to help us and shit like that.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah. What you got?
Those are some good points.
Yeah.
I think inevitably what would end up happening is that you're changing so many elements that it begins to look like an entirely movie. Like it still maintains its DNA, being a movie about Jane inheriting the mantle and whatnot. But as much as the DNA is the same, the phenotype of the movie is completely.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Uh-huh. I do.
So I just feel like with these changes, removing the kids, and because what happens is when you remove and you replace, it's kind of a cascading effect that affects the entire movie. Because now if you remove the kids, that also spares us from the just abhorrent Matt Damon as Guardian lesbian stuff, which is good. And with that, you remove the characterization of the Asgard essential humans. You remove that painful element, and it starts to look like a whole movie, for all the good reason, all the right reason. But it's definitely one of those movies where there isn't much to keep that you wouldn't be able to take otherwise. Like, we can't just say, oh, let's remove Jane. Jane is part of the movie, and the movie is about her. So, she were a thing to remove in the first place. But literally everything else can be removed and or changed, which then just affects the entire movie playing out thereafter.
Yeah.
Keeping Gore being actual villain. Would you change his physical as well?
His physical appearance.
Yeah, of course I'm referring
The ears.
widely floppy ears or no floppy ears.
No floppy ears. As much as, like, I might not be a fan of, like, every Marvel villain just being a different version of, like, an Earthling or whatever, I do not want the floppy-eared Gore. Like, it, just, I don't know, it just doesn't jive with me, Like, if he's the bald, like, skinhead version of Gore with the scars on his forehead, like, just, like, to show, like, he has renounced, like, his belief, like, he's cut the markings that tied him to, like, belief in that god off of himself. Like, just, keep that. He looks more menacing without the, like, wavy lines, like he's fucking Majin Buu with that thing, that antenna on his head, like, just, but he's got two, so it's, like, sillier.
Majin Buu does look scary.
Yeah, he does. That works for him. But, like, for Goa, it's like a weird, like, Voldemort thing. Like, just, like, Voldemort with funky ears. Just, like, Voldemort with Bugs Bunny ears, basically. Floppy Bugs Bunny ears. Just... Yeah.
Sure.
So keep Bale as he is. In fact, have more of him. And, one of the, like, remember in releases, they said, like, some of the scenes that were cut had Jeff Goldblum's character from Ragnarok. It had Eitri the Dwarf. Have them be the people that he's interrogating. Like, where is Omnipotent City? How do I get there? Like, where is Eternity? What do I need,
Because the Grandmaster definitely seems like someone who would want to belong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Yeah.
So like him, as well as Tanalia Tavan, the Collector, and Ego, even though he was retconned to be a Celestial, they are three elder gods of the entire universe. So they would have
Knowledge.
they would have a position and knowledge to belong in Omnipotent City. So it would make sense why he would want to get there, and it would also make sense why he wouldn't, because he would have been on his planet for so long.
Yeah.
He probably either forgot or was never told.
Yeah. And speaking of Omnipotent City, Zeus, like, let's make him less of a jokey character, and let's not have him be like, yeah, I know about Gore, you know, like, that's why we're all here in Omnipotent City, you know, we're safe, he can't get to us. That's absurd, dude.
It makes him look like a pussy, scared of Gore.
Yeah. What would make more sense is if dude was like Gore the God Butcher, like, fuck, let him come. Like, fucking, like, we're gods. We can take this guy. Like,
He
just,
doesn't know him, you know.
Yeah.
He's underestimating him. He doesn't know. But not only does he know him, but he's very well aware, and he doesn't care.
yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Instead of making him like a posturing dick, make him a cocky dick. Like, it's like, man, I've been alive like thousands and thousands of years. Like, I can take some dude with a sword. Like, it's nothing. Yeah.
Exactly. I would also potentially add in, and this could be it, you can or leave it. But add, for the hell of it, something about Odin. Something that really, like, bolsters up Zeus to be, okay, he's not just a random guy. He's like, he can trade blows with Odin.
Yeah.
And he probably once did. So just making him like this kind of, you know, wimp and just kind of he's not even affectionate, like, yeah, very
Just, there's been very little levity throughout like our revision, so we can have some here. Like, have Odin, like Zeus be like, you know, there's like those dudes who are like friends with your dad, like, hey, you're so and so's boy. Like, yeah, I knew you back when you were like a little kid. Like, me and your old man used to like tear it up or some shit like that. You know, like.
Exactly. And that's a very good point too, because instead of treating Odin hostile, you could be like, Odin, son? Is that you? It's been so long, you know?
Yeah.
In the comics, like, Odin and Zeus they do have some rapport, you know? They are like different factions of different religions, of beings that are very similar in power sets. You could definitely have added in that not only do they have similar powers, but yes, the reason why is because they are based off of similar type of deities from different cultures.
Yeah.
So the Greek individual had thought of a god, and that is this. But the Scandinavians all had their own kind of god, and that was this Odin.
Yeah.
So just the fact that he's so hostile to Thor, if anything, should, as you know, this kid of 15 and like 15 years, and he's all grown up.
Yeah. And another thing, like, show Bastard, you know, like the Wakandan god. Don't have her be like a face in the corner. Just like show her, like, when, like, have a scene where like Thor and Jane, you know, are like asking like, what's going on? And like the camera slides to the side and like it's Bastard sitting next to him. She's the one like, oh, that's, you know, the god of so and so. That's the god of this. Like, after them, it's gonna be Zeus. You know, like, have her do something. You know.
How bewildering is it? We saw more of Bastard in a first looks of her appearance in the movie. Actual appearance.
It's
because us did in IMAX did not even show. Yet they just dropped a still of her. He's not her body, granted, but we saw more of Busted still than an IMAX movie.
Yep.
So confusing.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, that's happened. Omnipotent City is covered. The battle in the Shadow Realm is covered. Thor uses Stormbreaker to try and escape the battle, seeing that, you know, they aren't as prepared as they should be. Like, because, like, in the original movie, like, Jane drops the hammer after they get to Earth. Have a scene where, like, Gorr knocks the hammer out of Jane's hand and it transforms her back to a human form. Thing is, like, and now our cancer's worse than ever. Like, oh fuck, we need to leave. We need to leave now. Not because we're losing or anything, but Jane is, like, seriously badly hurt. We gotta go. And as they portal out, like, dude swipes the thunderbolt, and now he has the key to eternity. Yeah. All right. Once they get back on Earth, they take Jane to the hospital. Like, they go get Valkyrie patched up, and we keep that scene where, you know, like, Thor is by her bedside, and he's breaking it to her, like, you need to stay here, you know, like, they're gonna take care of you, whatnot. Every time you change, it seems to be draining you and making your cancer worse, and I don't want to lose you, basically. Like, I'll put my life on the line. I'll do whatever it takes to stop this guy, but, like, I don't want to lose you doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Have him be like, I've lost you once. I don't want to lose you again. You know, like, you're all I've got left. You know?
Oh my god, yeah.
All right. So, that's another thing. Just to move on from the serious thing. We dropped the Stormbreaker is jealous thing. Like, the hammers are alive, and they, like, just, please, that's gotta go. That doesn't do anything. Like, it stalls the movie more than anything.
That plot jealousy and weird, girlfriend catching you flirting with an ex. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Both hammers should not do that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not sentient.
Yeah.
They're just, yeah.
And the scene where Thor first encounters Mjolnir, he's not just, like, wandering around the field like, Mjolnir? Like, yeah, boy. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You've never called it.
You never called it like that, dude. Just reach your hand. What the fuck are you doing? Shit.
My word.
But yeah, and so dude straps up. He grabs Stormbreaker and he portals out to, like, the realm of eternity, because, like, as a god, he knows where that is. And with all the information Gorr has gathered throughout the movie, he also knows where that is. He's got the key, and, you know, as he's getting there, Thor arrives, and to, like, stop him from getting in his way, Gorr summons his shadow creatures, and Thor does battle with them, whilst dude is using Zeus's thunderbolt to force open the door. In the midst of that, it seems as if Thor is being overrun. Like, he might lose, because, like, as strong as he is, like, as strong as any force is, like, sheer numbers will dominate, you know, like, he just summons wave after wave after wave, like Smith in Matrix Reloaded, you know, because as powerful as Neo is, he can't outfight, like, 1,000 people. Yeah. And you will get overwhelmed. Yeah. So in that midst, it seems like Thor is about to lose. Like, he's essentially drowning in a sea of creatures. Like, they're, like, all over him, clawing at him and shit. That's when Hammer comes in. Ding, 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 ding. Lightning strikes everywhere. And it's Jane. And he's like, no. It's like, I wanted you to, like, I told you to stay. And she's like, yeah, like, some things, you know, like, they mean more than, like, my life, you know, like, you know, you're risking your life, and it, like, I should be stepping in, you know, like, basically she's actively deciding for herself as opposed to having someone choose for her. Basically, like she didn't choose to step away from her life. This cancer forced her to. She didn't choose to have these powers. The hammer gave them to her. Like for once in this movie, like this is her actively choosing to do something. You know. They fight. During the whole encounter, like it takes the combined forces of like like Thor and Jane to like break the Necro Sword, and like just in time the door opens. They all go through, since technically like all three of them like found eternity around about the same time the door opened, and have instead of like Thor being the one to like convince Gore to wish for his daughter back, have Jane be the one there, because like, well, we're never gonna see this character again. Let's give her this rub, you know? Let's give her these moments, because this means, you know, like as much as it means a lot coming from Thor, since he knows what it's like to lose everyone dear. Like, you know, Gore is dying. This sword has drained his like life essence because it's cursed. So like Gore is dying, and like Jane is like, it's like I know what it's like the very thing that's giving you power is killing you. And it's like, you know, like you basically the speech Toby has in Spider-Man 3, it's like, I know what it's like, the power feels good, but you'll lose yourself to it, you know? Like, don't do that. It's like, is this what your daughter would want from you? Like, would she want you to do what you're about to do? Yeah.
Yeah, have him appeal to not just his fatherhood, but like, I mean, not just to his humanity, because I feel like he honors fatherhood more than humanity.
Yeah.
So you can't appeal to his humanity.
Yeah.
You really can't.
Like, have to show that, to like set that up, have a scene earlier on during the attack of New Asgard where like one of the shadow creatures comes across a bunch of kids and it's about to kill them, but then Gore like chops the thing's head off. It's to show like, yeah, I'm a killer, but I'm not gonna kill harmless children. Like, not when, you know, that's the reason why I'm here, because like my daughter is killed. Like, I'm not gonna make someone else have to bury their child, you know? He's a villain, but he's a layered villain.
As should be every good villain.
Yes. So this time around, Gore, like, brings back humanity. I mean, not brings back humanity. He wishes for his daughter's return. Because, like, you know, don't say, like, he was going to, like, wish for the existence of all gods. That's not why he's here. He didn't come here for that. He could have killed all gods by himself with the sword. He reveals, like, that's not why he's here. He came here because eternity can grant anything. Like, say, like, he wanted his daughter back. That's what all this was about, you know? He wanted this power so he could do with it what no other force in the universe can do. Bring back the dead. So then, thing is, like, he gets there and it's like, now I have the ability to get what I wanted, but I'm dying. She'll be alone. Like, just like she will have nobody. And that's when Thor chimes in, like she'll have me, you know? Like, just, like, I'll be there for her. Like, you know, I'll look after her, because apparently we need the scene of Thor, you know, Love and Thunder at the end, going off into battle. So have Thor be the guy to step up, like, you know.
They used to keep that.
Yeah, we keep that. But it's like, you know, she have Gore being like, she'll be alone. And it's like, she will not be alone. And then Jane looks up to Thor and she's like, promise me, man. Like, you'll promise me you'll look after her when she's here. Like, when I'm gone, you know? Like, I made a promise to Gore that she won't be alone. Like, you know, help me fulfill that promise as like my one last thing before I go, you know?
Okay.
There.
I guess if you frame it that way, I can potentially stomach the Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Even considering that never had that name. Thor's never used the name Thunder, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that happens, and Jane dies, and she goes to Valhalla, Not because she died in battle. Scrap that shit. That crap is crap. So she
Yeah.
dies because, she exhibited, she goes to Valhalla because she exhibited the qualities of someone worthy, not just to wield the hammer, but worthy of entry into Valhalla, Like her sacrifice and whatnot has led you to this point. Yeah.
Actually, and that's the thing. Valhalla requires worthiness. You don't just, go to it or what, because you had the mantle at some point, whatever. It's just that you exemplified the quality of a top as guardian.
Yes.
To the very end.
Yeah.
Just like even like Heimdall's last act, his last act as guardian was saving the universe, sending Hulk to Earth to warn the rest of the Avengers. And he didn't know, man, like the most noblest way possible to go out, and that's why he's in Valhalla.
Yeah.
And he probably has a specific ranking in Valhalla as well.
Yeah. Because he's like the Saint Peter who meets you at the gate, basically,
Exactly. He's the first person you see.
Yeah. So that cleans that up. All that's left is, what's left. The aftermath with Hercules and Zeus. Just like, I don't want to touch that, dude. Like, okay. Thing is, in this story, it's Gore who killed Zeus. Now, if Gore killed Zeus and, it shows Zeus isn't actually dead, no, that's not going to work. It just waters down Gore's ability to kill. Like, what, he didn't confirm the kill? Come on. Instead of Zeus being the one talking to Hercules, have one of Zeus's wives. Like, she's a grieving widow. It's like, my husband is dead. Your father is dead, and the one responsible still lives. Find him, my son. Find him and, kill him. Do this for me. Do this for me, Hercules. We don't see Hercules let. We just see her talking into the distance, and then the camera pans back to show, this towering, shadow, basically, walking into frame, like a looming figure. We don't see his face or whatever, and he's like, yes, mother. And that's it.
I think you could also center it around right to be like, make him feel the wrath.
Yeah.
Of the Olymp. By using that, you make it much more personal. Because now what it just feels to Zeus's wife is that it's this Asgardian who killed my husband. It's not just anyone. It's an Asgardian, and that could potentially as well also set up war with the Guardians and Olympians and whatnot, and it would just be much better of a story for it with better framing.
Yeah, it definitely works better that way. So she sent to take a page out of the 2004 Punisher movie, because in the comic book it was a case like, oh yeah, Frank's family dies from a random mob hit, and in the movie, the 2004 movie, initially what the guy who wanted to kill Frank wanted was, he told his hitman find Frank Castle and kill him. That's it. That's all he wanted. All that guy wanted was find Frank Castle and kill him. But it was his wife who came up with the idea, no, his family, kill all of them. They gotta go too. And have that be a thing, because hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Because if Zeus had survived, if Zeus had just been grievously injured or whatever, he would have been find Thor and kill him. But since it's his wife, grieving, and she's more ruthless and angry, she's don't just find Thor, it's find all the people he cares about and kill them. I want him to feel how I'm feeling right now. Yeah.
I can deal with that.
And that would be that. Shit. Damn. Movie wraps up quite
I
nicely,
feel
huh?
like it wasn't as long
Yeah, man.
as FX. I think that's because the movie isn't long about that.
It's not bogged down by jokes and, unnecessary characters.
Plus, even the original movie ain't that long. What?
Yep.
Barely 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though our version of the movie wasn't long either, we somehow managed to cram in themes that the other movie cut out, like the gore actually killing people. Yeah. Yeah. So though initially there were 3 of us, now there is 2. Man in the back has pieced out for his own reasons. No judgment here.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fine. Internet connection.
It's cool. Yeah.
Whatnot.
And that has been that, dude. That is how we would have fixed Thor Love and Thunder, Would have been tough to keep the serious tone throughout, given that Taika Waititi would still be at the wheel. But, it's just, this is how we would have done it. If we were behind the wheel, we wouldn't have steered across the side of, we wouldn't have been scratching the side of the iceberg just for the lulls. We would have, plotted a course to avoid any obstructions and so on. Or, at the very least, we would have packed enough fucking lifeboats in the event we hit a fucking iceberg. So, yeah. Our story is not perfect. By no means are we saying it's perfect, but it's not meh,
Definitely much better.
Yep. So, yeah, that's been that. This has been the... before we start, anything you want to add? Anything you feel we left out?
Do we have a post-credit scene? I mean, besides, you know how there's 2 of them.
Yeah. Post-credit scene. Jane entering Valhalla. Just like in the movie,
Yeah, I guess. That's good enough.
Yeah, because the Hercules stuff sets up the next movie.
Ooh.
There's not much else.
How about this? I would change it, Heimdall, to have him be welcomed by
Thor's mom. Yeah.
Because, this Heimdall is Heimdall. It didn't really hold much weight that Heimdall would, introduce Jane. I mean, I get it. He's like the cool man or something.
Yeah.
Frigga, that's the mother, and she was quite fond of Jane.
Yeah. That would be...
It would make sense that she would be waiting for her at the gates of heaven.
Yeah.
To
All
talk
right.
about her son.
Well, alrighty then. That's... this has been... movies I'd love to fix. The 4th...
Mill.
Yeah. This has been MILF, episode 4, Love and Thunder. As always, I have been your host, and this has been my illustrious guest, Anything you want to say to the peeps before we sign out? Yeah.
I would say that there are many more movies to fix in the MCU.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Not just the MCU, my friend. Very much DC and, Sonyverse.
But I would think what really makes it very important for me is the fact we spend so much time reveling in our successful universe that we never once thought of a day where
we would look at
reach a
flaws.
point where our so-called perfect universe could be fallible. And if you told a version of me from 5 years ago that we would be sitting here discussing this problems to fix in an MCU movie, no less, I would have looked you in the face and called you crazy. Yeah. Tragic.
Personally, I would have been like, man, who the fuck are you, and why are you talking to me about movies that don't exist yet? What's going on? Yeah. So yeah, That's been it. It has been awesome. And as per usual, we out here, yo. Oh,
We out here,
I
folks.
forgot to mention, once again, just like the last time, this episode of MILF is proudly brought to you by nobody. Still,
Nobody.
still, man.
Not Rake.
Not Raycon,
Search.
not Manscaped, just
Not NordVPN.
Jesus Christ.
But we'd like to be.
We'd love to be, man.
So hit us up, please.
You listen, you still out there, Ray J?
Ray J.
Oh shit, dude.